Hi team, now in this video we're going to take a look at how the opportunities pipelines work and how you can best use some of the features to manage a tidy pipeline. So let's do an initial introduction. First of all, as you can see, we've got different stages in our pipeline, and these stages are the treatment journey. Now, after your first event, you'll have contacts that will appear in this left-hand column. This is the consult booked column. Now, of course, if you have run a number of events with us, you're likely to have contacts all throughout your pipeline. But on your first event, it'll look something like this, of course, with many more contacts in your pipeline. Now, as you can see, you can pick up any of these contacts and move them to any stage in the pipeline. You'll also notice when I pick up this card, some additional options appear down the bottom of the screen, and these are opportunity status. We can either mark someone as lost, abandoned, won, or leave them as open. The opportunity status is simply a tool that we use to help sort the contacts in our pipeline so that we can drill down and look at people that are in a certain status in the pipeline. Now, this pipeline can be a very, very helpful tool for two reasons. One, for managing your contacts along the treatment journey, and two, for ensuring that you get nice, clean data in your dashboard reports so that you can see how much is the value of the treatments that have been accepted, how many people have gone ahead with surgery, what are your conversion rates, and how are people moving through the treatment journey. And that all comes down to being able to manage this pipeline in a tidy manner. Now, it's important that before you jump into the pipeline, it's very, very important to ensure that you're updating the appointment status in the calendar, and that is managed separately to the pipeline. And that we will have covered in a separate video. So let's take a look at how we can use some of those features. So as we mentioned, we can move people along these stages here. Let's add this person into the treatment accepted column and then mark them as one. And we can do this in two ways. We can drag them over here onto the one section that has appeared down the bottom, or alternatively, we can click on the contact and update their status here to 1. Let's leave this contact as open and we'll place them back in the consult booked column. Now, what we've added to the system to help sync your opportunities pipeline with your appointments in your calendar is when you update the status of an appointment in the calendar, it will automatically nudge people to the correct column in the pipeline. And that's just a very, very helpful way to make sure that you're maintaining a nice and tidy pipeline. So what we're going to do now is head over into the calendar and the appointment section. We're going to adjust some appointments and we're going to take a look at what that does to the contacts in the pipeline. So to do that, we head over to the left-hand side and click on calendars. Then we head to the appointment section. And this will give us our list of appointments that are in the calendar. And as you can see, all of our appointments here are set to confirmed. And what that means is that the appointments are either coming up or the appointment times have been, the team just hasn't updated the status yet. So it's really important that we always update the status of the appointments in a timely manner. So let's update these. Let's put this one marked as showed. And then we'll mark this one as cancelled. And this one here we will mark as no showed. Now let's go and take a look at the opportunities pipeline and see what that has done to the contacts in our pipeline. Perfect. So when we left a moment ago, all 3 contacts were sitting here. And as you can see, this contact has been nudged over into the attended consult column. And that's because we marked this contact as having showed for their appointment. So it's a very, very helpful way with our calendar, which will automatically nudge someone forward in this pipeline for you when you update their appointment status. And that's why it's important to always update the appointment status in the calendar first. Now, as you can see on this left-hand side over here, these contacts have stayed in the consult booked column. However, their status has changed. This contact we marked as having cancelled their appointment, so we've marked this contact as abandoned. Now, when someone cancels their appointment, they're actually highly likely to be in communication with your team, and they may actually rebook in their appointment. If that's the case, you'll want to click on the card and adjust them to being open again. And then we click update. As you can see, this contact is no longer marked as abandoned. They're open in the pipeline. And of course, we have this contact down the bottom here. We mark this contact as an FTA, a failure to attend. In the system, we mark them as no-shows. And as you can see, this has automatically adjusted the status of this contact to lost. Now, we can always update the status of this contact, again by clicking on the card and adjusting that status there. And you may want to do that if the contact reaches out to your team and has a conversation about their situation and rebooks in for an appointment. So let's talk about the stages and when we might use these stages. Well, as discussed, the consult booked column is where the contacts will appear after your online information evening because they've booked an appointment into your calendar. The attended consult column, that's where we put people when they have attended their consultation. And as you can see, if you update the calendar and the status of the contact in the calendar, they'll actually automatically be nudged into the attended consult column. When someone gives the go-ahead on treatment and has effectively accepted treatment, we'll move them over into the accepted treatment column. And finally, when surgery is complete and the treatment is complete, you can move them over into the surgery complete column. When we move people through into the treatment accepted column, it's important that we adjust the status of the contact and mark them as 1. What that will do is it will input the value of the opportunity, which is here, into your dashboard reports so that you can see the ROI from the campaigns that you are running. It's also important to adjust the value of the treatment that has gone ahead, and that way you get proper numbers inside of your reports. And finally, as you can imagine, if you run a number of events, you're going to end up with a large number of contacts in your pipeline. And being able to sort your pipeline and see the specific contacts that you want to see, there are a few tools that you're going to want to use. First of all, we've got the ability to search in our pipeline. Let's say I've got a big pipeline full of people and I want to find this contact, Stephen Mills. I can type in the last name of that contact and I'll find them right here. Or perhaps first name of the contact and it will show up right here. I believe this contact actually has Stephen Mills in the email address, hence why that one is showing there as well. Backspace that, it'll show all of them. Another very important feature is the filters tab over on this right hand side. If we click on this filters tab, this will give us the ability to search and sort our pipeline based on a whole range of filters. Now, the most common and perhaps the most important one that you should be aware of is the status filter. We can use this to drill down and only look at people who have a certain status in the pipeline. In this instance, I've marked it so I can only see those who are marked as 1. As you can see, everyone else has disappeared and I'm only looking at the person who is marked as 1. If I open this up again, maybe I want to see those who are marked as 1 and those who are marked as open. This contact is open and this one is 1. And of course, I can add everyone so I can see them all at the same time. That concludes our bird's eye overview of how to best manage your opportunities pipeline. If you need any help, you're always welcome to reach out to our team.